and life coach. This is the Alkaline Vegan podcast, number 8. It's about the alkaline diet meal plan. Dr. Sebi's diet, the African bio-mineral balance. You can call this a few different things online. Some alkaline diets are not like this, so this is Dr. Sebi's nutritional guide, and you might have heard of that. If you haven't, check it out. If you want the list, I have it posted for free in a few different places. One of them is on the Patreon in the description. I already recorded a number 8 for today, but I was trying to upload it, and one of the files is giving me a really difficult time. So I did an interview with one of our subscribers, and I will be putting that up soon. I was supposed to have it up today, but technology. So we're going live instead to stick to the schedule, and I will do my best to get that interview up on Monday. I hope that I can resurrect that file because it was an amazing interview, and I'm really looking forward to publishing that. So that is coming out soon. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon because I've been going live 5 days a week, but I will be going live several days a week. So let's get into Falah is tuned in watching. Thank you. I can't get that video edited in time for today, so I'm gonna work on it. Hopefully I'll have it by Sunday. And the file, one of the cameras was capturing me, one of the things was capturing him, and I got the video file, no problem, the one capturing his face, but the audio and my response and all the audio and my face, I can see it on my computer, but I can't put it into the video editor. And I've tried already making it and converting it and whatever. So that's what I'm always dealing with. It's better to just go live and skip all that. So let's get into the alkaline diet meal plan. A lot of people want to know what to eat. What do they even do when they try shifting over? And let's bring this a little closer. So I'm going to tell you what I've been eating, and I have several one-on-one clients as well, and I have them on a specific regimen depending on the situation. So if you want one-on-one advice specific to your situation, you can either ask in the comments or reach out to me in the description. There's a link, and I do free consultations. So what I've been eating these days, and I'm posting all of this in the Patreon, every single thing I eat, I've been mostly juicing because, and I'm not detoxing or anything right now, it's just what I've been doing and what I like, what I've been feeling good. So I've been pretty much waking up. Oh, today is not a good example because it's 6 p.m., 6:20, and I have not eaten. So this is just one of those days where I got busier than expected. And what's the first thing that flies out the window? Eating, for some reason. And that's just what is going on today. So I did drink sarsaparilla tea, and if I wouldn't have, I probably would not be functioning properly. So if you have to skip meals, stay hydrated. And if you have sarsaparilla tea or burdock tea or sea moss and bladderwrack, then you can take that if you have to skip a meal and you'll have plenty of energy. I'm used to it. But what I have been doing recently is juicing around 4 p.m. or 3, 4. Today it's past 6 and I haven't yet. So I would prefer to have done it already, but I was struggling with this video editing. And before that, I was doing the interview. Before that, I was busy. So I will probably juice as soon as I get done with this live. And I've been juicing mostly. My favorite is cantaloupe, as long as it's ripe. And I talked about that in a juicing video that I did recently. Check that out, all about juicing. But I've been mostly juicing at 4, and then I don't. When I was just juicing and not eating at all, I would juice 3 times a day, maybe a bonus one around midnight if I feel like I'm having those midnight cravings. But I was feeling fantastic with just juice and herbs, of course. So then I started eating again, and I've been making pizza, and I've been making alkaline pizza. Actually, that sounds good. I might make it again today. Once I get into the groove of making pizza, I don't feel like making anything else because it's so good. And as long as I'm in that groove of making dough, it's easy. And I simplified my sauce recipe. That was the thing that takes a lot of time, is the sauce boiling down, and that was taking like an hour when I used to do it. I used to make it out of cherry tomatoes and cook it down for like an hour. I mean, what an ordeal, but amazing, tasted great. But these days I'm just using crushed tomato. I'm actually using the waste of the juicer. So whatever, I call it pooping out, but that's probably not the imagery you want. Whatever comes out of the juicer, I collect it, some of it, depending on what fruit it is or vegetable. And I've been using the tomato just straight onto the pizza and then drinking the juice while I'm in the middle of making the pizza, and that gives me the boost to get me through because, you know, I want the pizza to be done right away. But the other day I made pizza and it took forever to cook, like 45 minutes or an hour. And I'm the oven, I think the oven I have right now is really terrible. So I used to make this same pizza in a different place, and I haven't made it for like a year, but I was making that all the time, and it would take 12 minutes. And now this oven is taking an hour. So the spelt is really strange sometimes, and the whole spelt is taking forever. So I don't know if it's the spelt flour I'm using at the moment. I don't like it, and I'm on like my last cup. I had a giant 24-pound bag of it. It's fine. It's just yeah, it could be better, I think. So I'm definitely going to upgrade my kitchen eventually, but the past few days I've just been drinking juice and eating pizza, and to me it is perfect. Of course, I'm having sarsaparilla tea and other different teas. So, and I have other supplements that I usually take that I would recommend as well, but that's not really the meal plan. So to simplify the meal, I feel like eating once a day is really been improving the lifestyle and the daily situation, and I feel good. So the juicing seems to be better than eating for me. And, you know, I go in and out since I'm not in the middle of a detox. I was detoxing mostly 3 years ago and did quite a lot. And once in a while I do, you know, I was just juicing for a couple weeks basically. And maybe 6 months ago, I did a water fast for a few days just to kind of keep it going. If I feel like it, if I feel inflammation or something, which I usually don't, then maybe I'll fast for even 24 hours. Just at this point, I'm not at the beginning of the adventure, so I've been down the rabbit hole for quite a while. But every once in a while, I feel like it's good to just do juice for until I feel like it. And I felt like that was better. And for me right now, juice is great. But I have been eating once a day, but I'm not limiting myself to once a day. That's just what has been going on. So if I want to eat more, I will. I'm not. I'm limiting myself in so many ways that the other things I just do totally free whatever I want. So as long as I'm only, as long as I have the right foods and ingredients stocked up, then I'm not hard on myself whether, like, I'm not forcing myself to juice, I just feel like juicing. I definitely would recommend seaweed of some sort, either as a supplement or as part of the diet. But my wife makes seaweed soup a lot, and I have video of that. I believe it's one of the videos that it's going to be coming out in April. It's not my favorite, but it's super healthy, and she'll eat it for like a week on end. And I usually don't. But if you're feeling like soup, or if your health is in jeopardy, that could be something that can boost you quickly. And I've said this in some of my other videos, but in Korea, where I was living for a while, after women give birth, they eat seaweed soup, that's it, for a month to recover all of the different, minerals and all the different stress on the body of going through pregnancy and giving birth. So they load up on that for an entire month, seaweed soup, and it's pretty easy to make. So I'll have a video of that coming out soon if you want to see that. Let me know what other things, if I mention anything that sounds good to you, and I'll point you in the right direction in the comments. So as far as, I would be satisfied with pizza every day. One of the other staples that is easy to grab and make quickly is chickpea pasta. Now, I don't recommend chickpeas if you're fasting or if you're detoxing. But if you're just shifting over to alkaline, or if you're trying to quit wheat or whatever reason, chickpeas way better. And there are amazing, Barilla makes chickpea rotini that is very affordable. It tastes great, and you wouldn't even really notice that, some gluten-free pasta and stuff like that is nasty. But this one is amazing, and it's easy to make sauce. You can make it into pasta salad. You can make a tomato sauce by just blitzing tomatoes and either a half or a fourth of an onion, and then cook that down a little bit so that it's thick and not watery. And you can add whatever you want. You can add sea salt, cayenne, oregano, and basil, or you could do thyme and sage instead of oregano. It's up to whatever flavor. I would keep it simple. As long as the tomatoes are ripe, it should be really good. You can also put a splash of agave in there. If, cherry tomatoes are the best because they're sweet and delicious, but they're getting harder to find and more expensive as years go by. I should be growing my own this year because, wow, they're expensive around here for some reason. And they disappeared off the shelves in a lot of places. So cherry tomatoes are the best as far as taste. for sure. And I believe they're probably the most nutritious as well. You can even just chop up cherry tomatoes and put them on the pasta and make just like a salad out of it. And that could be easy for you. There's nothing easier than juicing, though. If it's quick and easy you're looking for, juicing a few times a day, as long as you're taking herbs, you will be flying high and feeling great. And there are some, I have other videos that talk about detoxing a lot. So, if you're fasting and then coming off of it, you want to gradually reintroduce foods. You don't want to just go all out and start eating heavy, fatty, or processed foods, especially not processed, but you don't really want grain and fat right after a cleanse. So you can ease back in with juice and fruit. If you are fasting and have to break your fast, try fruit. A lot of people, they break their fast with something crazy and oh, crazy comments. Well, distractions. Don't break your fast with something crazy. You can ease your way back in with fruit and juice. So I hope that helps. And you could take a few days with the juice or a few days with just fruit. You can eat only melon for a while. That's a popular diet I've heard of. Some people do watermelon, and they call it a fast or a cleanse, like a watermelon cleanse, where you can just eat watermelon for 7 days or a couple weeks. But what that does is it fills you up with mostly water. So you would want to take sea moss if you have it along with it so that you're getting enough other nutrients other than, but you can do that for an extended period. This does not replace medical advice though. So if you have someone that if you have a practitioner that you've been going to, let them know that you're thinking about fasting or changing your stuff around. And everyone is in a different phase. Some people are needing to detox. Some people are just trying to take it one step at a time and shift over into other types of food. Once you get those foods out, I think juicing is the easiest way to shift over. But for some people that's intimidating, but once you try it out, you'll feel so good that you'll have no problem continuing. Selena said it's hard to find seeded watermelon. What is going on? This is crazy that we can't even find natural food anymore. They're doing their best to make us completely dependent on artificial nonsense. Why don't they have seeded watermelon? Because they don't want you growing your own watermelon. Ridiculous. There are some places that you can still find it, but yeah, I've had that same experience now that you mention it. Certain places have it and certain places don't. There are a couple places around me that do have it seeded, but yeah, now that you mention it, there are some places that only have the GMO seedless. Stay away from that. When I see that stuff, I don't even see it as food. So I don't deliberate whether I should buy it or not. I just see it as GMO junk and get it away from me. So keep hunting it down and maybe you can start growing it yourself. You need a lot of space to grow watermelon, but definitely worth it. In some places, when I used to live in Asia, it was sometimes $18, $20, $30 for one watermelon. Minimum $14 sometimes for a watermelon. That's crazy. But it's really good and people would buy it anyway for a party. So, that might put it in perspective for you. You always think, well, it's cheaper than Asia. Yeah, and there are all kinds of crazy fruits that are really expensive. I can remember in Japan that, each watermelon was like wrapped in something. Makes you appreciate it more when you can get it for a lower price, for sure. So the food groups for being alkaline are kind of like water, herbs, fruit or juice, and then veggies, and then everything else that's natural and not hybrid. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, like a stair steps. If you really don't know what to do in shifting over, don't eat anything. That's the water fasting. But the sea moss I talk about this in so many of my other videos. If you haven't seen them, make sure to check out some of my others. I have over 200 videos. So I don't want to talk about things I just talked about yesterday or the day before in this video, but the herbs would be the foundation or that first step, and water, spring water, of course. We're 80% water, so you need to stay hydrated no matter what. And I'm feeling a little dehydrated too because I've been running around today and not hydrating enough. So the next step up would be juice. And that would be mostly fruit, but you can juice some of the veggies. However, things like cucumber are actually fruit and people just think they're vegetables. So most of the things that I've been juicing are fruit. Melon, cucumber, which is related to melon, apple, plums. That's pretty much it. I mean, what else have I been juicing? Pretty much just apples and melon, because to keep it really simple. And cantaloupe has been the go-to because it's great as long as it's ripe. So you've got your foundation of herbs, and then you've got your juice. And, when I make apple juice, sometimes there's like 5 or 6 apples in one tall glass. So if you think you're getting all those nutrients, well, not all, but many of the nutrients all concentrated, and the type of juicer, I talked about this last week in the juicing podcast, but the different types of juicers, I talked about that then, so I don't want to reiterate what I said. One of the types of juicers I have, the one I use every day, preserves the nutrients better, supposedly. And I use that one, and 6 apples, bam! That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy and hydration. And also, I've been juicing tomato, which is not my favorite, but in the process of making the pizza, I've been juicing tomato and just chugging the juice for a boost while I'm making pizza because I'm impatient and now I'm impatient. I want to go make pizza right now and stop streaming. So then herbs, juices, fruits. Fruits, when in doubt, eat a melon. When it's ripe, it's the best and most alkaline. So some raw fruit can be uncomfortable in my stomach. Like I usually don't eat raw apples just because I found that it's just kind of cold and a little bit harsh if I haven't eaten anything on an empty stomach. Apple juice though is no problem. But the fruits that have, a high water content, That's what's going to be best to keep you hydrated and keep you going. Remember, alkaline means energy, electricity. Like an alkaline battery, that's electric. Water conducts electricity. So if you're starting to feel tired or your eyes are fatigued, you might be dehydrated. And, chugging some spring water or juicing can really get your electricity back going. We are bioelectric. We are electrical. So there's a little lesson for you. And then once you're at this point, you could also start adding all the rest of the foods on the food list and then cooking and stuff like that. So the cooking and all the foods that I have on the channel, many of them are not for detox. Definitely not. Anything that's really fatty or that was really complicated that I made would be not ideal for if you're in the middle of healing. That would be better for, people ask me if I have cheat day, but my cheat day is like an alkaline thing, like brownies or something like that. So I have recipes for brownies. I have recipes for, I have pizza coming out. I have 75 or so recipes already posted on the channel, and more are coming. So the foods that are cooked, that's like the last thing. That's what most people go to and just eat cooked food all the time. But really, the stair steps that I kind of just explained would be better as far as if you're really sick. But I mean, anything, if you're just trying to shift over, and you can use these foods to help you shift over. If you're trying to go alkaline or trying to go vegan, that can help you at the beginning to shift over to, replace ingredients with this or that. That's kind of what my recipes are meant for. To, get people attracted to see, hey, look, we can eat really good tasting, delicious food. We can eat comfort food. We can eat dessert, whatever we want. As long as we make it out of good quality ingredients, we make it work. So I have several playlists for different foods. You can check those out. But rather than just going through the playlist and picking what you want to eat, you can definitely do that. I mean, that would be one way. You can think of the foundation I talked about, which is, how to get the most energy and vitality out of it. I hope that helped. Does that make sense? Let me know if this is making sense in the comments, and let me know if you have any questions. I've got a couple minutes and then I'm gonna end the live, but if you have any questions, I will take your questions right now. So I'll give you a minute to type them out. And if not, I'll see you in the next one. Yes? Okay, awesome. It's making sense? Like I said at the beginning of the video, there was a different video I planned to release today, but I had problems editing it. So I will probably be releasing it Sunday. And then I'll be back live Monday through Thursday, as long as I keep coming up with topics to go live. I have a whole list of different foods and different ideas, but not all of them would be a good for a podcast or a talk show. Some of them I would have to show you how to cook it, or if it's a stretching video or something like that, I would have to show it. But for this podcast, the goal is, that you can listen in your car or you can listen in headphones, and you don't really have to look at it. So it's meant to be listened to. But hey, viewing it is fine too. Sometimes it's better to watch and listen at the same time, depending. But then, you know, a lot of my other video ideas would not be good in headphones because they wouldn't make sense, like recipes or mushroom hunting or something like that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We have a lot of new subscribers tuning in recently. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for all the love and support. We've got great feedback and great questions coming in. I just did an interview that was really awesome. That's coming out Sunday, and I'm really excited because there's really good content. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully I can get the technical stuff sorted out so that can be published Sunday. If not, I'll go live. So that's the plan for the next while. There's a lot going on. I have a new Patreon, links in the description, where I've got a secret business project that I'm only releasing to people on there that I'm not going to release to the public yet. But I am also writing a book that should be done by the end of the year. So stay tuned for good stuff in the future and more lives. If you hit the bell icon after you subscribe, it'll notify you when I go live so that you can be there to ask questions. And if you have any ideas for other topics I can do a podcast about, or any guests that I could have on, let me know. Maybe you could be the guest. Do you have a really good story about going alkaline, or someone you know had a great transformation already? Maybe not, and that's why you're here. But if you are watching and you know someone, or maybe an influencer or another YouTuber, let me know and I can try to reach out to them and make this more entertaining and more information, valuable information. All right, thank you so much, Selena. Thank you, Falah, for tuning in, and everyone else watching. I appreciate it. And I'm on my way towards monetization. So I've only got 1,000 or 1,500 watch hours left, which is gonna take maybe a couple more months, maybe 3 more months, and I'll be monetized. Hello, Bifur? Oh no, I can't pronounce your name. Salam to you as well. Welcome to the channel. So stay tuned. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that I'm working on and will be releasing as I get to it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're watching in the replay and have questions or questions that I didn't get to, let me know in the comments. And I'll see you in the next video. The next one should be Sunday, and the next live will be Monday. And April will be jam-packed full of recipes if everything goes according to plan. Thank you again for watching. Have an amazing day on purpose. And hopefully these podcasts are one way how you can do it. Until then, peace.